video series on how to prepare a CRUT or a GRAT valuation using ESI-APPRAISE. We're going to be focusing on two tools today. So the primary focus of our webcast is we're going to be using online tools to generate these valuations. If you're someone who is more comfortable outsourcing the work to us, you can definitely outsource your valuations. You can send them to customerservice@appriseng.net, and we'll do a CRUT and GRAT valuations for you there. All you need to do is send us the statement and our form. But for those of you who are technically competent, the more efficient way to do it is use our software and universal import programs, and that's what we're going to be doing today. Okay, let's start by opening up the APPRAISE software. Okay. So this is our main menu of the APPRAISE software. I'm going to go into the estate and gift tax portion, and I'm going to modify an existing portfolio. Okay, and I have a sample portfolio here that I created in advance to save us a little bit of time. Click on Sample Portfolio and click on OK. Okay, and you'll see this issue here. So let's take a look at it as if it were an estate tax valuation. I'll click on View Portfolio. Here's my default. I'm going to have it landscape so I can see it better. And we'll do first an estate tax valuation just to set up a baseline. And I'm not going to sort any of the issues. I'm going to click on View. Say Printing Default, say Yes. Okay, if I double click on this banner up here, it'll take up my whole screen, make it a lot easier to see. So you can take a look in this portfolio. You can see we have a U.S. Treasury bill, a U.S. Treasury note, a New York City municipal bond. Let's see, can I make the screen bigger? I think, no. Sorry folks, that's about as big as I can make it. Okay. We'll have down here, we have an iShare here. We have a Vanguard Fund, California Muni, BlackRock, and you can see here, we've been doing accruals on these. We've been doing mean pricing per IRS regulations. We had a dividend to the mean price here, another dividend to the mean price here. I'm going to pull down here a little bit. We have here a mortgage-backed security with a CMO paydown factor and an interest payment. I'm not going to go into the nuances of each valuation. I'll take the approach that you're all familiar with this. I'm going to come down to the next page. We'll go here, next page. You can see line 10. We have a Fannie Mae with a paydown factor and interest. And you can see here, it says up here, name of estate, sample portfolio, so it's an estate tax securities valuation. We have the total accrual for the portfolio, total interest, and the two added together. So this is what you're accustomed to seeing when you do an estate tax valuation. So let's click on Finished. Actually, we'll go to one more page. This is our supplemental report. Some folks don't actually look for these. If there are issues on your report in which something unique may have happened, we put together a supplemental report. This is information not required on the estate tax return, but definitely will give you a better explanation of how we arrived at the valuations. And as you can see from this, items 6, 9, and 10, 6 was Unit Investment Trust, and 9 and 10 were CMOs. So we let you know that we valued according to those proper methodology for those types of issues. It also has up here the date we prepared this valuation. So if you do multiple iterations, you'll constantly know which version you're looking at. All right? Next page I expect to be blank. Okay, my mistake. We also have here something called the memo function. What the memo function is in essence, an electronic post-it note that you could put on a valuation. So if you put a note in here, if you have someone you're sharing this valuation with, they will see this note. But at the same time, you can elect not to include this note with the estate tax return when you file it or prepare it. Okay. Click on Finished. So now, what makes it different to get a CRUT valuation or a GRAT valuation? Well, let's do this. Let's click on View Portfolio. And see my report types here? I have estate tax, portfolio valuation, distribution, gift tax. I have a valuation report, no security, an accrual report, a investment trust report, a GRAT report with principal only, a GRAT report with accruals. So let's start a GRAT report with accruals. Okay, let's click in there. And I'm going to elect not to sort once again. I'm going to click on View Portfolio. Say default, say yes. So what changes here is the report valuations are still the same. The only difference now, it says here, instead of estate valuation, it says GRAT report with accruals. So you know it's a little different. But all the information we provide is the same. I'm going to click go to the next page. You'll see it's still all the same. Okay. Supplemental report and the memo file. Now let's do something with the memo file. Let's click on Finish just to show you how it works. Edit memo file. Put notes here as the original note. And put in my typo, my apologies. Second line of notes. Added later. Click on OK. Update memo file. Okay. So now we saw how a GRAT report looks with accruals. Sometimes people want GRAT reports without accruals. So click on View Portfolio. GRAT report principal only. View Portfolio, say default, say yes. Okay. And this will look different to you because there are no accruals. Makes it a little different. And some of our customers requested this feature for when they do their GRAT valuations. So the security values will be the same, but there'll be no accrual. As you can see, total security value does not contain accruals. Go to next page, which is still the supplemental information. Okay. And the fourth page, which now shows the second line of notes I added to the memo file. Again, showing the date prepared of 10/7/2013. Click on Finished. I'll go back to this. Any questions so far about doing a GRAT valuation? In essence, it's just changing the header, and if you need, put a memo file or something like that on there to customize it based on your needs. Any questions on that? Okay. Last thing I want to show you is a CRUT valuation, but we'll do this a little different. For this GRAT valuation, what I did was I keyed in all the issues, all 10 by hand, which is okay. But many times we have customers, especially at the large bank institutions, that literally value hundreds of these CRUTs at year-end. And in lieu of typing everything by hand, they've automated the process. And I'd like to show you how that works. So click on Main Menu. I'll minimize this. I'm going to go to Universal Import, which is right here. It's a free program for evaluation services. Then what I'm going to do is I have a sample file I'm going to use. And I'm going to do, we have here sample CRUT file. Start import at line 1. And this is a comma delimited file I created from a trust system. It contains 4 fields. So first thing I do is I click on my CUSIP number field. Then I click on my shares field. Okay, the shares field we need to make notice has no commas in it. Then I select my portfolio ID field, which you're accustomed to putting into ESI-APPRAISE. But that one I'm just going to type in by hand, just to show you how you can put things in by hand. So I'll put in 113555. Then I'm going to put in the estate name. How about sample CRUT? Show you can work both ways. You can either type it in by hand, or you can read in the fields. And let's say we've added it as of 01/02/2013. Click on Finish. It says here portfolio ID 11355, sample CRUT with evaluation date of 1/2/2013. 8 issues, create portfolio. I'm done. Now I'm going to go into Appraise, which is down here. Modify in a portfolio. And I have my sample. Hang on a second, go back. There it is, 11355. Click on OK. Let's price this portfolio. Send for pricing. While we have this moment, I want to share with you that all the connections you make with our computers to get your valuations are 128-bit secure and encrypted. So even though the program does not send any of your client's confidential information over the wire, you still have the peace of mind of knowing that it is a secure connection and that everything is encrypted. Click on Download Complete. Click on View Portfolio. And we'll do a unit trust report. Click on View Portfolio. Say Default, say Yes. Go large with it. And you can see here, we have a unit trust valuation. So that's how easy it is to prepare CRUTs and GRATs using ESI-APPRAISE online solutions. I'm going to click on Finished. Okay, click on Finish here. Go back to the screen. Does anybody have any questions? I hope I didn't move along too quickly, but I know your time is valuable. I'll check the chat box, make sure there's no questions there. All right. What I'd like to conclude with is if you have any questions after this webcast is over, you can send an email to accountinfo, that's the email address you registered at, accountinfo@appraisenj.net, or you can call 201-784-8500, extension 104, and you can have any questions you need answered. Other than that, I'd like to thank you for joining me on this Monday morning, and have a great day, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Bye.